Hello learners, I Dr. Niradhar De, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all in this video lesson. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important title, that is validity as a criteria of an effective tool. So friends, in our last lesson we have already discussed reliability as a criteria of an effective tool. So friends, when we develop a tool, when we standardize a tool, we are supposed to find out different criteria of the tool, just like the reliability of the tool, validity of the tool, usability and objectivity of the tool. And so far as a standardized tool is concerned, then definitely we have to establish the norm of the tool. So in this context, today we are going to discuss the second criteria of an effective tool, that is validity. Let us go forward. As you know that in our online course BES 1 to 7 assessment for learning, presently we are in the 6th week. Now we are studying the 6th module. The title of the module is criteria of a good tool, and in this module 3 video lessons are there. First is self-made and standardized tools, its concept and differences we have already discussed, and the second video lesson, that is reliability as a criteria of an effective tool. In our last lesson we have discussed the concept of reliability and different methods and techniques that you are supposed to use for determining reliability of a test. And in this lesson we will discuss about validity as a criteria of an effective tool. What is the concept of validity, how it is different from reliability, and how reliability and validity are related with each other, that also we will discuss. And further we will discuss that what are the different methods, what are the different techniques that you are supposed to use for determining validity of a test. And I have already said in the first lesson, that is on self-made and standardized tools, that if you are going for standardizing a tool, then definitely you have to establish the reliability and validity of the tool, and it is not necessary for a self-made tool. So friends, now let us go forward to know that what are the different learning outcomes of this video lesson. First of all, after going through this video lesson as well as the part E content which is given in the module, you will be able to name the criteria of an effective tool, that what are the different criteria that you are supposed to establish for preparing an effective tool, for developing an effective tool. And further you will be able to explain the concept of validity as a criteria of an effective tool, and you will be able to explain the methods used for establishing validity of a tool. So our concern is to understand the concept of validity first, and then after we will discuss, we will analyze different methods that we can use for establishing validity of a tool. Let us go forward to focus upon the criteria of a tool. So here I have already said in my earlier lesson when I was talking about reliability, that these are the certain criteria of an effective tool, just like reliability of the tool, then validity of the tool, usability of the tool, objectivity of the tool, at the same time norm of the tool. Okay, so now let us focus upon the second criteria of an effective tool, that is validity. So let us now discuss about the concept of the validity. So friends, validity refers to accuracy and truthfulness of the test. When I was talking about reliability, very concept of reliability is the consistency or the stability. That means when a test, when a tool is giving stable result, a consistent result in subsequent testing. That means test retest method is there in reliability. It means the same test will be administered twice. Okay, and if you correlate the two sets of scores, then if a positive correlation you will get, then you can say that your test is reliable. So that means in earlier case, in the case of reliability, you are getting a consistent result of the tool that you are developing. So if the objective is fulfilled, and if the result that you are getting from the tool if your tool is measuring the very purpose of the tool that for which you have developed, then you can say that that is the validity of the tool. And if I discuss about two definitions, that is as per Cronbach 1970, then further as per Freeman 1965, you will understand better that what is the concept of validity. As per Cronbach 1970, validity is the extent to which a test measures what it purports to measure. That means there is certain objective, there is certain purpose. If your test is measuring or fulfilling the very purpose for that you have developed the tool, then you can say that that is a valid tool. And further, if I will go through the definition given by Freeman 1965, Freeman says that index of validity shows the degree to which a test measures what it purports to measure when compared with accepted criterion. So here one question is, what is a criterion? Okay, so here when I will discuss about different methods of reliability, this definition will be very clear. So here what you have to do, let as a researcher, as a teacher, you have developed a tool and you want to know the validity of the tool. So what you will do, you have to administer your tool, and at the same time again you have to develop certain criterion, and basing upon that criterion you have to develop another, you have to develop your tool, administer your tool, and you have to compare the result. Okay, and if you get a positive correlation between the two, then you can say that your test is a valid test. So friends, basing upon these two definitions, further if I will correlate these two concepts, these two features of a good test, that is reliability and validity, I can say that validity includes reliability. That means reliability is included in validity. The validity, if you establish validity of a tool, then you can say that the tool is definitely having the quality of a reliability. But only establishing the reliability of a tool, you cannot say that that tool will be a valid tool. It means a reliable tool may or may not a valid tool, or if a tool is valid, then definitely you can say that that is also reliable. For further understanding, here I can say that reliability is the precondition for validity. So what you will do, directly you cannot go to established validity. Validity is the, you can say, is the further criteria, but the earlier criteria is the reliability. So that's why you can say reliability is the precondition. If the tool is having reliability, then further you can go to know or to establish, to find out the validity index of the tool. But if you have not find out the reliability, then no need of going to know the validity. So that's why reliability is the precondition for validity. And further we can say reliability included in validity. And we can also say that a reliable test may or may not valid, but a valid test is always reliable. If a test is valid, then definitely that test is reliable. But a reliable test may or may not valid. Okay. So many a time a reliable test may be a valid test. That means the test will fulfill both the criteria, and many a time a reliable test, that means a test is fulfilling one criteria, that is reliability, but that is not fulfilling the second criteria or the further criteria, that is the validity. So this is the reliability, this is the relationship between reliability and validity. As a student of education, as a student of teacher education, you will be developing tests, you will be developing different tools, you might be engaged yourself in developing the tools. So that's why you should understand what is the concept of reliability, what is the concept of validity, and how reliability is linked with, is related with validity. Let us go forward. Further to understand about that, what are the different methods that we follow for determining validity of a tool. First of all, the methods are, first is the face validity, is one method, then content validity is another method, criterion related validity is another method, then under criterion related validity Then two methods or two techniques that you can use. One is the predictive validity, then other is the concurrent validity. And for the other methods are just like the construct validity and factorial validity. So friends, very briefly we will discuss all these 5 methods of validity, 5 methods for determining validity of a test. Now let us focus upon the first method, that is phase validity. So friends, phase validity, you see the very term that is used with this method is phase. That means by going through the appearance of the test, by going through you can say an overall look of the test, if the test is look like as a test, then you can say that the test is a valid test. But it is phase validity, you can say it is the lowest level of validity. And how to determine phase validity? First of all, phase validity is done by a test specialist. You have prepared a test, okay, so what you have to do? You have to submit your test to a test specialist. Test specialist will go through, or the subject expert will go through the items, will go through the entire appearance of the test, the language aspect of the test, and if the specialist or the experts, the subject experts say that yes, the tool is look like as a tool of achievement or a tool of intelligence or a tool of aptitude, then you can say that your tool is having a phase validity. Okay, so it is you can say this validation process is done by phase. That means by looking, without going through the detailed construct, without going through the detailed content of the tool, of the items of the tool, then you can just determine, you can just establish the validity of the tool. Then further you can say that the purpose of its construction, let you have constructed a tool for measuring achievement of the students or intelligence of the students, okay, or aptitude of the students. So here what you will do, the subject experts or the specialist will go through the items. If it is an achievement test, the expert will go through whether the items are related with achievement test or not, whether the items are related with the subject of that standard students or not. Okay, so just by going through the items and appearance, the expert will say that yes, the test is having phase validity. Okay, and the objectives it covers. So what are the different objectives of the test is there, and whether as per the objectives items are constructed or not. And further, every test or every tool is having certain dimensions. So what are the different dimensions it measures? Just like, let the questions are related to reasoning abilities, related to general knowledge or the awareness, then algebra and arithmetic. So the expert or this specialist, what he or she will do, he will go through the items of reasoning, whether it is related to reasoning or not, whether it is related to general knowledge or awareness or not, whether it is related to algebra or arithmetic or not. If it is related to algebra, arithmetic, reasoning and general knowledge or awareness, then you can say that the tool is having phase validity. And language used, language is also another aspect to know phase validity of the tool. Let us go forward to understand about the other aspect of phase validity. So phase validity, you can say it is the lowest level of determining validity of the test, and this method is used in case of shortage of time, and phase validity can be used before using other methods of validity. So this is the first hand practice, you can say, that just you are going through the phase validity. Unless the test is not validated by phase, then there is no need to go through the other or to use other methods of validating the test. So that's why this is the first method. And if the test lacks phase validity, other methods of validity are not determined. So first of all, a test should be having phase validity before going to establish, going to you can say employ, going to use the other methods of validity. And further, now let us try to understand about the second method of establishing validity, that is the content validity. Okay, so as per Anastasia 1968, content validity involves essentially the systematic examination of the test content to determine whether it covers a representative sample of the behavior domain to be measured. So here what you have to do in content validity, systematic examination of the test content. That means in a test certain items are there, items are taken from different content areas. So in this stage, in the content validity, content analysis, the test specialist or you have to do the content analysis. That means you have to analyze whether the content is properly addressed or not, whether the item address the content data taken for preparing this test or not. So that's why systematic examination of the test content will be done. And here we can say content validity is very much important for achievement test, because achievement test is related with the subject content. So that's why if you have prepared an achievement test, then definitely the content aspect of the achievement test should be examined, should be verified, should be tested. Okay, so that's why this is one of the very important part of the content validity so far as achievement test is concerned. And further, the test is examined as per the blueprint or the table of specification on which the test is prepared. Here you see two terms are used. One is the blueprint and other is the table of specification. You should understand that what is the concept of a blueprint and what is the concept of a table of specification. Blueprint is also called as table of specification. So friends, blueprint means blueprint is a three-dimensional chart where weightage is given to content, objectives and forms of question in terms of marks. So before preparing, before developing or before writing items for any tool, for any test, what you have to do? First you have to prepare a table of specification. First you have to prepare, you have to make a blueprint. So blueprint is a three-dimensional chart. There are three dimensions of a blueprint. First dimension will reflect upon the content, second dimension will reflect upon the objective, and the third dimension will reflect upon form of questions in terms of marks. Okay, as example, that is an achievement test of social science for class 9th students. Okay, achievement test for social science, and total mark of the test is of 100, and total item, that means total the number of questions will also 100, and each item carries 1 mark. And types of items are just like objective types item, that is multiple choice types of questions with 4 options. Then weightage to the objectives, that is knowledge areas objectives 40% weightage is given, understanding areas objectives 20% weightage is given, then application is also 20% weightage is given, and skill is also 20% weightage is given. Then weightage to content, 25% weightage is given to each from history, political science, economics and civics. So here a blueprint is a three-dimensional chart. So first dimension is the content. So here 25% weightage is given to history, again to political science, to economics and civics. So the questions are coming from the 4 subject areas of social science. Then weightage to objective is knowledge, understanding, application and skill. 40%, 20%, 40% knowledge and understanding, application and skill, each 20%. Then total item will be 100, and forms of item will be multiple choice types of question, and each question is having 1 mark. So basing upon the 3 dimensions of the blueprint, so what you have to do, you have to prepare a table of specification. Just like now you see on your screen, the subject areas or the content are history, political science, economics and civics. Weightage to history is 25% because each subject area is given weightage of 25% as per your blueprint. The knowledge, understanding, application and skill, these are the 4 objective areas. Knowledge objective area is given 40% weightage, then understanding, application and skill is given 20% weightage each. So accordingly you have to you see a knowledge level of question from history, you have to write 10 questions. Then understanding level of questions from history, you have to write 5 questions as per the weightage. Then accordingly you have to write 100 questions. Okay, that is from history 25, political science 25, economics 25 and civics 25. then again from knowledge area 40 questions, understanding area for 20 questions, application and skill area 20 questions each. Then after preparing this table of specification, then you have to write the item. Then after writing the item, you have to give this blueprint and table of specification with the reference book, with the textbook, and with the test that you have prepared to an expert, to a subject expert. The subject expert will go through the items and analyze the content, whether the test has been developed as per the blueprint that is prepared or not. If the items are developed as per the blueprint, then you can say that your test is having content validity. Okay, and further, the third method, that is the criterion related validity. Try to understand that what are the different criteria that's supposed to taken into consideration for constructing a tool, for validating a tool. So here two important criterion, one is the external criterion and other is the concurrent criterion. It's supposed to be developed, it's supposed to be you can say used for determining the validity of a tool. So far as the external criterion is concerned, so here criterion related to concurrent information is called as the concurrent validity, and criterion related to future performance or the external criterion is called as the predictive validity. So here two important methods that is come under the criterion related validity, that is one is the concurrent validity and other is the predictive validity. So try to understand what is the concept of predictive and concurrent validity. So here you see in predictive validity, predictive means it comes from the word predict or prediction. Okay, so you have to predict the future performance, the future occurrences of the tool. That means the tool that you have prepared, you have to predict that your tool will provide a good result, a dependable result, a truthful result in its subsequent use, in its subsequent administration. Okay, so how do you establish the predictive validity of a tool? So we will discuss it with one example. So now we can say that predictive validity determines how far the test is able to predict the future result or the future performances. Predictive validity of a test prepared for B.Ed examination to admit students for a B.Ed program. So let us discuss one of the example, that is the test or the entrance examination test that you have appeared for taking admission in B.Ed program. So we can say that to know the predictive validity of the B.Ed entrance examination or the test that is prepared for the B.Ed entrance examination, what you have to do? So on the basis of the result, on the basis of the scores of the entrance examination, you have just received a place, you got selected to pursue B.Ed program, but who has done well in the entrance examination, to know whether they are also equally doing well in the B.Ed program and equally they are successfully completing with good grade and good percentage of marks in the B.Ed examination. Then what you have to do? You have already the set of entrance examination score. Then after the final examination, what you have to do? You have to just correlate the final examination marks, final examination grades of the students with their entrance examination result. And if you will get a positive correlation between these two sets of scores, you can say that your test was having predictive validity. That means your test predict the learners that whoever has done well in the entrance examination, again they are also doing equally well in the final examination. That means your test, the entrance examination test was having the predictive validity. Your test predict the students that the group of students to whom you select, subsequently they did well, successfully they completed the program and they also scored a good marks. But here determining a prediction or the situation, the situations of the prediction may be different. So here what you are doing, you are just correlating entrance examination result can be correlated with many other external criterion like final result, job placement, performance of the teachers in their respective job field. So friends, it is a very time consuming method and is also called as empirical or statistical validity method, because here we are just using the correlation method. And further, concurrent validity is also another important method for determining validity of a test. Concurrent validity refers to the extent to which the test scores correspond to already accepted measures of performance. An example, an intelligent test prepared by you when correlated with a standardized test of intelligence which is already developed by Binet and Simon, and if the correlation coefficient is positive and high, that means if R is greater than 0.5, the prepared test may be considered as having concurrent validity. So here you see concurrent, the word concurrent has come from the word that is current, okay, from current to concurrent. So here what you have to do, a tool you have prepared, upon a group of learners, group of subject, you have to administer your tool. At the same time, a tool which is developed by Binet and Simon, which is a purely standardized tool on intelligence, you have to administer Binet and Simon's standardized intelligence test upon that group of students, okay, and after getting the score you have to correlate. So when your test is providing a truthful, a consistent result, a stable result, when it is correlated with a test which is developed by Binet and Simon, which is a highly standardized tool, then definitely you can say that your test or your tool is having concurrent validity. Then further, another two validity, that is the construct validity and factorial validity. So friends, very briefly try to understand that what is construct validity. Construct validity can be defined as the extent to which the test may be said to measure a theoretical construct or a trait or psychological variables. As an example, intelligence and aptitude are positively correlated with each other, okay. So intelligence of a group of students and aptitude of that group of students, you will find that both are positively correlated with each other. Your prepared intelligence test score, when correlated with the theoretical construct of intelligence, and if the correlation coefficient is positive and high, that means if R is greater than 0.5, then your prepared test may be considered as having construct validity, okay. So you have to correlate the score of your test and the score of you can say the other test, and you have to find out correlation between them, and if correlation is greater than 0.5, then you can say that your test is having construct validity. And further, the last method, that is the factorial validity. Factorial validity is also another important method of determining validity of a test. Factorial validity determines the correlation of different factors or components with the whole test. Factorial validity is determined by using statistical techniques known as factor analysis. So you have to analyze the factors, that what are the different factors are there in a test and what are the different factors that contributes for the result. Okay, just like for the achievement of the students, you can say many factors are there. One is intelligence of the students, practice of the students, home environment of the students, curriculum of the students. So many such factors that contributes for the achievement of the students. So that's why here what you have to do, you have to analyze the factors, that which factor is contributing how much, which factor is contributing very largely and which factor is a very negligible factor, and that is also called as factor loading. Factorial validity describes what factors a test measures with their weight. That means the factors are putting certain load, putting certain weight. So you have to analyze that how much of weight which factor is putting. So here as an example, in factorial validity, you see, so far as academic achievement is concerned, what are the different factors of academic achievement? So here you see intelligence is one of the factor, for good academic achievement. Aptitude is also another factor. Learning style is also another factor, and learning environment is also another factor. So all these 4 factors that contributes for validity of a tool. But if you want to know the contribution of intelligence, exclusively contribution of intelligence on academic achievement, so what you have to do, you have to just statistically isolate all other variables just like aptitude, learning environment, learning style, curriculum, or many other aspects. Only you have to establish the correlationship between academic achievement with intelligence. And further, you can also eliminate other factors if you want to know in factor analysis the contribution or the factor load or the loading of information, loading of factor of aptitude upon academic achievement. You can just find out a correlation between academic achievement and aptitude of the students. Accordingly, learning environment and learning style also another factors, and factor loading of learning style and learning environment can also be determined. These are certain references of this video lesson. So friends, just to recapitulate, in this video lesson we discussed about the concept of validity, how it is different from reliability. We discussed about the relationship between reliability and validity, how reliability is included in validity, and how reliability is a precondition for establishing validity of a test. And further, we discussed about different methods that we use, that we follow for determining validity of a tool. We discussed about the fast validity method, content validity method, then criterion related validity method just like concurrent validity and predictive validity, and further we discussed about the construct validity and also factorial validity. For further queries, you can write to me niradhar@ignou.ac.in. You can make me a telephone call. My intercom number is 2994. You can go through my Facebook account, my YouTube channel, at the same time my Twitter handle. You will find more than 200 video lessons are there relating to your B.Ed program and relating to other issues on education. That will help you a lot for your study. Thank you.